Welcome to another episode of Chitangani with the Sounds Sangoma. Today, I'm going to be showing you one of the most important things you have to do before you even start mixing, gain staging. Let's get to it. Cool, so I have this beat here that I got from a producer. His name is Unknown. So I'm just gonna play it so you guys, when I play it, I want you guys to pay attention to the output. So if we have to talk about gain staging a little bit, gain staging is basically just making sure that you're getting the right signals into your channel, meaning that even into your plugins and your processing. And there's this sweet spot that we always want to go to, which is -18. And I will explain a little bit why the -18 came from. So if I actually open a VU meter, you will see the VU meter is what they used back in the day to kind of like scale loudness in your channel, how much the channel is coming in, and even in the outputs. Now we have digital meters, so we gotta understand how to translate that to digital right now. So if you look at this meter here, you will see I calibrated my meter to 18 dB headroom. So if I go here, I can calibrate it however I want. So 18 dB for me is the sweet spot. Why? Because most analog and most, equipment and plugins react very, very cool to 18, right? So 18 dB, which is like 18 dB on your meter, is like a sweet spot. That's what you want because you don't want your plugin to be distorted and you still have a lot of headroom to work with, which means now your fader, you have more to get from your fader. You're not mixing here at the bottom because it looks. And one thing that people tend to not understand is the channel, your meters are kind of like post your inset. So whatever is coming in, you can't change it here. If you feel like the signal is too much, you can't pull it down on the channel because it's still coming into the channel too hard. So you gotta deal with it from the top of the channel, right? So let me play you this. Notice this here. Cool, you can kind of just hear that everything kind of like falls apart. The kick drum is kind of like overloading the master. So if we just play the kick drum, you can kind of like see that I have a lot going in there. You know what I mean? If I actually look at my VU meter, you will see I'm actually clipping my master where I should be hitting like 0. So 0 is like my 18 dB. Right, so there's many ways you can do this. For example, if you can go and do clip gain. So if I bring out the same plugin, so what we want to be hitting is here. So go here, pull this number down till I kind of like get what I want. Cool, so you will see now I'm hitting it like 0. It's going a little bit above the needle. It doesn't really need to be perfect. I'm just gonna let some, remember I still have some headroom. And if I look at my meter now, you will see now I'm kind of like at 15, just going above. And then if I hit this, my peaks are kind of like hitting this. So if I see my master, I've freed up some space, and you'll see that meter is not affected by what I do to my fader because it's not post fader. It's it's not, my meter is pre fader. It's not post fader, right? So that's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it, so if I just go back to where it was, so I'm gonna go this side, is having a trim plugin on the channel. So if you do have a trim plugin, for example, it's just a gain plugin. So this is like if you're thinking about an analog desk where you will have your gain and all your capturing parameters there. So what I do sometimes is just make sure that all my channels have trim. I just trim all the channels, and then before I start with the session, with one of the most important thing is having your fader at 0 dB. A lot of people don't understand why, because 0 dB just represents whatever it's coming in into the channel and it's going out is the same. It's not affected. So if I press Alt and go back, you'll see this is 0 0 because I want to be at unity gain with no change, right? So again, do the same exercise, play it, and then I'm gonna go and pull this down. So if I do this and I pull this meter just for you guys to see, I'm gonna pull this till I get to the same point, which is kind of like 7.4 dB drop from where we're coming from, you know. But now I know I have a kick that I can work with and it's not overloading my master, right? So for example, I can go do the same thing to the bass, solo the bass, you know. I just copy the other one from the other one, which means it's coming with its own settings, but again I have to, so that's still a loader. You know what I mean? So that's minus 12 dB there. If we bring in maybe the snares, maybe we can get a variation. And then if I go to my snares, for example, do the same exercise. I'm looking at everything, so I'm just gonna go look at my snare alone. So my snare was a little bit soft. I'm just gonna gain it up a little bit so that it's at the sweet spot, and then cool. So my snare is okay there, I have headroom. And then for example on an instrument, it's not really a lot of change happening there. Cool. So and then maybe lastly I'll go here, just go to this. Wrong channel. Somewhere there. And then now I can kind of like do a balance, fader balance, because I know everything is where it's supposed to be at. So I can kind of like pull this down, you know. So again, just understanding, I'm gonna do another episode about meters, but for me, gain staging. So what I wanted to actually show you, another thing is, if you do your gain staging right, for example, if you don't do it right, I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna bypass the trim, I'm gonna put in an EQ, EQ7 for example, so you can see kind of like we're smashing. And then what I want you to listen to, if I go and do it, you can already see I'm going to the red, just a low, so I don't have width to work with, right? So if I go and actually put that trim back in, go back to the same plugin, you'll see now, ooh, I have headroom, and now I can actually go and work on the instruments. That's the beauty of it, you know, having gain structure, because now you have more to take from your plugins. Another way to do it is, if you don't want to do the trim, you can actually use this. If this is at the top of your channel, you can use it to kind of like, okay, cool, that's where the headroom is, and then you can do whatever you have to do, because that's basically kind of like gain structure, right? So gain structure is important all the time. When you do your mixes, you have to make sure that your gain structure is right for your plugins to kind of like react the way you want, and you don't want distortion. And again, maintaining gain structure across your plugins. For example, if I go and put a compressor, pull a compressor there, if I go and pull a compressor, you will see I'm gonna reset this. Let's say that's where my kick is. I'm gonna bring this back, and then I'm gonna go here. So For example, you don't want to be, a lot of people tend to do this from compressors, because I don't know why, and then they get fooled by this. Whenever they do this and it sounds louder, they get fooled. So the aim is to make sure whatever you're doing to the compression, you're just compensating for whatever you're doing level wise, so that when I bypass, it's not a difference in level, it's not a level jump. Then I can actually feel what my compressor is actually doing, right? And then I can maintain that and throughout the chain, throughout here, throughout my basses, throughout my main out, so that I can make sure that I'm cool on my main out, right? So that's basically what I wanted to show you with gain structure. Very, very important. If you guys want more any more information, please make sure that you comment at the bottom. But I just felt like I need to tell you this because a lot of people have been asking me questions. What are other things that you do before you mix? So I just decided. So this is one of those things that is common sense, but common sense is not common to all of us. But yeah, it will help you a lot to have headroom in your mix, and then your mix will be sitting in the right place. You won't be battling with a lot of sounds being overloaded or being loud. So yeah, you've heard me talk about it, but so today I just wanted to show you and make you understand. So I will do another in depth when it comes to metering, how to actually read your meters, understand your meters, understand where you actually clipping, where is your actual limit and everything. I will do an episode for that, but for now I just wanted to show you gain structure, how gain structure can actually improve your mixing by, I will say 80% or 90%, if that may be. Alright, and one of the biggest problem is because every time when we're mixing, when something is not there or we're not feeling it, the only thing we think about is level. Sometimes taking something away, or just understanding how you're sending, how your master is reacting to everything, because you gotta understand everything is being summed together, so you gotta have that in mind. So that's basically what we do, so balancing it out. So thank you again for tuning in to Chitangani with the Sound Sangoma. Thank you for the love. You guys have been showing me so much love, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate all the messages you've been sending me. I appreciate Solani for all the graphics, Chris Black for all the graphics. I appreciate everybody who's been chipping in and putting in, and everybody who's been telling me to keep on doing this. I'll make sure that I keep on doing this. Just let me know what you want to know, and then I'm gonna share the information with you guys. And I appreciate all the musicians who are sitting at home and watching these videos and making music. Again, once you're done with your basic mix or your mixing, if you want that finest touch, you know who to call, your uncle in the furniture business, the Sound Sangoma. Yeah, so thank you very much again for tuning in, guys. Much love.